lining up quite near the back of the box, and I think it's going to be working out that time and distance to make sure you're going as fast as you can at start time.
So here we go. It's the calm before the chaos. Under 30 seconds to go for the start of Group A. As they get lined up, Stevie, it looks like they're coming back awfully early.
Well, Australia and Denmark, to me, look like they've pushed each other close to the line. We can see out the back, Los Gallos, Black Foils. They're the two in a real match race to get to that final at the moment. Well, they're charging in so fast. DS Automobile France will have a gap at the bottom of the line. They've got to make sure there's a bit of an incident potentially coming. Spain, that's too aggressive, surely. Perfect timing by Los Gallos, but I would not be surprised if we hear more about that. Brilliant reactions from De La Pierre to open the gap. The Spanish, well, they needed to be brave, and at the top of the line, the Black Foils, they need to be brave. They were. Remember, top speed round this mark for these boats. We've got to be careful when they get up to 75, but do not expect anyone to take their foot off the pedal as we turn away at Mark 1.
So it's Diego Botín and Los Gallos, Spain, that roll the dice, and it comes up Yahtzee at the line as they hit mark number 1, and the Spanish will have the whole shot just ahead of the Black Foils of New Zealand.
Just to let you know, Todd, I've just spoken to Chief Umpire Craig Mitchell. That was perfectly judged, apparently. That was absolutely spot-on judgment. They threaded the needle, and I have to say, that was surgical precision. Oh, it's windy out there, isn't it? Have a look at that. The boats are all down towards the bottom end of the line. No one's willing to come to this bottom left-hand corner of our screen and try and light it up a bit. French in the pack, Brazil well positioned, and they look like they could hold on to that inside roll there. It's going to be hard to accelerate the boats accurately in this sea state, and that first leg that we're going to watch, they'll be right on the ragged edge. Rolex Pole Predictor sits on Rockwell, Denmark. He's being brave at the top of the line here. They're starting to wind it up. It's a long run up for the Danes. The line's going to time white when we're ready to race here. Bottom of the line, it's Canada. Top of the line, it's Rockwell, Denmark. Denmark are going to be fast, but they're going to need to be so brave. And look at Red Bull Italy, straight out of the gun in the middle of the line. Incredible work by them, and they're blasting to Mark 1. Rockwell, Denmark have got the fastest angle, but they're going to need to be so careful not to push the boat too hard.
And the Great Dane, Nikolai Sehested, no stranger to speed as he goes over 92 kilometers, and they'll get the whole shot at mark number 1.
Controlling position for the Italians there. No surprise to not see a top speed. This sea state, you just can't risk pushing that hard. Boat handling's going to be crucial. Race your own bone accurately. Look at that. Boats touching down through that sea state.
20 seconds to go before the start of Group A as we have split the fleet today here in Auckland. Stevie, look at the wind speed. It is picking up, so this is going to be very sporty as we're 10 seconds away.
Yeah, bottom end of the line looks good to me, and we can see that Emirates GBR are lined up well. Phil Robertson on Red Bull Italy are good, but the Rolex Pole Predictors on Great Britain here. Emirates GBR look like they're going to get it done. What a start by Fletcher, and he's at full speed. They're going to be down the road come Mark 1 here. Massive opportunity for the Brits, but you've got to be careful to judge how hard you push on this first leg to Mark 1. Key thing to watch along here is how much is the foil coming out. You can see all the boats are a bit lower in the water than yesterday. Yesterday, there was a lot of foil showing, and that's how you generate those side skids. They might not be going at maximum speed, but you've got control, and you've got the chance of being consistent.
Emirates GBR, the reigning and defending champions here, coming into Season 6, and the winners of the first event in Perth last month. They tip the clock, and they go 90 kilometers an hour, and they have the lead as they get the whole shot.
They've got to prioritize that start and try and get to Mark 1 as fast as possible.
All right, Stevie, this is the dance, the calm before the storm. You want to get a great start here on race number 1. It's all about accumulating points. 4 races today, and we now approach 30 seconds to go before the start of the first race.
Yeah, on board Mubadala Brazil here as they come in towards the start line. Well positioned at the moment. They look like they're towards the downwind end of the line. They're actually in the middle of the fleet there. We see the Brazilian boat. Emirates GBR a little bit back, as of France. They're going to look to wind it up. Top of the line, the Rolex Pole Predictor sits on board Canada. If they get their timing right here, they could really have some speed to Mark 1. Midline, Rockwell, Denmark. Bottom of the line, Germany. They're going to line things up. We're looking for the line to turn white and find out which team's going to nail this first start here in Bermuda. United States out of the top of the line. What a start by Canfield, but he's going to have to be brave on this first leg to Mark 1 if they want to lead. Can they roll around the top of Rockwell, Denmark?
We just, the boy, press. Turn up, you'll be clear ahead.
And as they approach mark number 1, they go 3 wide with Lady Liberty out in front. The Americans will get the whole shot in race 1.
Oh, North Star as well, and Rockwool Denmark, two of the teams that need a huge event here in Bermuda. Great start by the United States. Canfield, he's been the starting king this season, and he nailed that start. North Star head towards the boundary. They'll be looking to line things up.
And so now the stance begins here as they get in position. 20 seconds to go before the start of race 2 here in Rio.
Yeah, Rolex pole predictor, that star sat up on the North Star Canada, but I think they're quite early back to the line to be able to foil Artemis. They're coming around the outside again, a bit too early for a foiling start for Aldridge. I think he's going to struggle to kill the time. We're looking for the line to turn white. It's going to be a blanket start here. Oh, it's perfect again by Artemis. Los Gallos somehow thread the needle at the top of the line. The Spanish are going to be coming in fast at Mark 1 from here.
Yeah, I think the big difference this one, Breeze has gone right a little bit, sort of windward into the line, so much more favoured. So you can see that super fast angle for the Spanish and the Americans coming over the top.
At mark number 1, the good news is Los Gallos out in front, US SailGP in second. Emirates GBR is back on the line, but they pick up a penalty right away, Stevie, so they kind of put themselves on the back foot. But how about this, the Rolex sprint leader going the way of the Spanish.
Yeah, that's right. But they're not on the foils. Top of the line, the Bonds Flying Rouge take an aggressive move down behind the Canadian team here. Can North Star defend? I think the boats are late here coming into the start line. Hard to judge. Favourite pole position is up the line, and it's going to be about hitting the boat, foiling fast when the gun goes. North Star well positioned. Emirates GBR are going to need to be foiling if they don't want to be rolled over by the whole fleet. Who's got their timing right? Slingsby dives through the middle. The Bonds Flying Rouge are foiling fast out the middle of the line. Rolex pole predictor stock sits on Rockwool Denmark, and I think the Danish should be able to drive over the top of the British from here. Look at them accelerate to Mark 1.
Softer for 5. Back in 2. It's going to roll GBR here. 1. Up on now.
And Nikolai Sandstedt calling it out as they approach mark number 1. Can they roll over the top of the defending champions, Emirates GBR? It is Rockwool Denmark as they approach mark number 1, looking to pick up the whole shot in the first fleet race of the day.
They just broke the overlap in time then, Todd, didn't they? You can see the gusts of wind coming down the course. Emirates GBR did a mighty job of hanging on the inside there, but it's a big gap at mark 1 here. Bottom of the gate there, they're going to struggle for space with the Bonds Flying Rouge spinning in front, I'd imagine here. USA, they're out the back. Pole position is down at the leeward end of the line. Bonds Flying Rouge look early right now, although they've got the Rolex pole predictor on the top of their wing at the moment. Acceleration game now. Rockwool Denmark look well lined up. Let's watch them wind it up. Line's about to turn white, and we're going to be go. Great start by the Swiss. Rockwool Denmark, great, but it's slow for the Bonds Flying Rouge. Couldn't accelerate the boat, which has parked Artemis, and it should be Rockwool that drive away from here, but you've got to manage the power on this leg to mark 1.
Hard puff again in 2. 1. On us now, hard puff.
And as they approach mark number 1 here for Group B, it is Rockwool racing on the inside, the Swiss on the outside, and there is Taylor Canfield and the US SailGP team holding down 3rd.
Well done by the Swiss there, that's so fast. Any of our eagle-eyed viewers, as we see this first manoeuvre, that front sail's smaller now, Hannah, there's been a change. They switch it up, they're going to split from the fleet, trying to find that space. They're late into the box, time to manoeuvre back, Emirates GBR. Okay, Dylan, now they're turning right, they're pressing from there, I think. USA, mid-line, well positioned again, somehow found space amongst the carnage. Bottom of the line, Rockwool Denmark, Mubadala Brazil move through. Right, now they wind it up. Now we've got 9 seconds to go. They're blasting already at full speed towards the line. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and we go on race 2 here in Bermuda. That's absolute perfection from the USA again, but he's got Slingsby on the inside. Can they roll over the top of the Australian team before mark 1? It's a pure drag race.
We'll be inside. Pressing it. Denmark will be inside.
What a start that was, Todd.
I was going to say, if you liked race number 1, race number 2 is even better. This time 4 wide as they approach mark number 1, and it looks like it will be the Bonds Flying Rouge, the winners of the last event in Rio, that get the whole shot.
Oh, that was Hans Henken versus Jason Waterhouse, the 2 flight controllers. Who would be bravest? Waterhouse held on the inside. Bonds Flying Rouge are gone. How can they execute from here?
And 4 down and 2, 1 board. And turning.
That's right, a lot more space on the racetrack here, and it's all about making sure you're in those top two boats. Artemis, right-hand side of screen, giving themselves some space. They don't want to be too conservative here. They've got to make sure they can battle hard if they want to make it. USA, well positioned. All about managing the speed on the first leg. We can see the wind lines coming down. The blue colour's less wind. As the colour gets redder, it's a bit more wind on the track, so more wind up towards the top end of the start line. Rolex pole predictors on the USA. Artemis dive. They get up to speed at the bottom end of the line. He's looking for the shortest distance. Perfectly positioned is outerage. Who's going to get the acceleration right? They wind it up and look for that line to go white. Racing here, Artemis, perfect on the gun. Outeridge has got his starting boost on today. He comes out blazing towards Mark 1. Canfield will follow. Who's going to manage to catch this Swedish team?
Looking for right turn at the bottom. That's the mark, right?
So as they approach mark number 1 for Group B, their third fleet race here in Halifax, and it is Nathan Outeridge and Artemis out in front. Red Bull Italy directly behind them, and in between is the US SailGP team with Taylor Canfield.
Watch the top of the wings, Todd. 75s. Oh, they're top end for these
79.
rudders. It's top end for those rudders. It's like driving your Formula 1 car into a corner at Monaco and just keeping the throttle down as hard as you can.